You ready for part 2? Let's do this thing. Hello again, and thank you for tuning back in. If you have seen the part 1 video about what it took for me to call myself a dancer and my whole backstory of being a child and a teen into my 20s and how that shaped me into where I am right now, now I've got part 2 for you. This video is all about how I became a teacher. So at this point, I had been taking classes for a full year. I've been going once a week, twice a week, honestly, as much as I could. I just went to these classes. And I really started to see something. I was really witnessing true transformations from the women that were attending these classes. And I'm not just talking about like, oh, they got better at this move or they became better dancers. Yes, they did, but it was more than that. They were now like confidence levels just boosted. They were getting like more in touch with their sensuality, and you could just tell their self-esteem like rose through the roof by coming to these classes. And I was not expecting to see anything like this. In fact, I had never seen anything like this until I started taking these classes. And I thought, wow, I can remember one day where I was in class and I really like separated myself from my body and looked at the whole class and was like, wow, there is some serious magic happening in these classes. And something within me felt ignited. I felt called to share whatever this was that I saw, because I believed that there needed to be more spaces for women to feel confident and sexy. That's all I knew. And so part of me, was like, I've never been a teacher. I had never even been interested in being a teacher or a leader or anything like that. What do I know? And I just, this part of my brain that just wants me to play small just kind of was like, who are you to do anything in this arena? This is not for you. But there was something deeper within me that knew that I was meant for something bigger. And I didn't know what it meant, but I knew that I had to follow this. So at first I was like, well, what do I teach? How can I take part in this? I can't teach dance. Clearly, I had been going to class for a year. I barely knew anything. I wasn't even that good. How could I just go and start teaching dance? That was off the table before it was even on the table. So I started to think about my strengths. I had been modeling at the time for about 6 or 7 years, and I felt super confident with that. And I thought there's got to be something that I can take from that experience and help share with women that need it. So I racked my brain and I came up with a little class, and it was all about how to walk confidently. Don't walk from point A to B, all frumpy and kind of like a pedestrian. Own your walk. It's you. It's your signature. It's your, raise your confidence. It was really fun. And those who remember this, you're my OGs right here. The Shaka's walk class is what I called it. I didn't even know what this was. No one else knew what this was. I was really kind of making it up as I went along. But I was like, you know what? This feels right. Let's just do this. And so I rented the studio where I took dance classes, and I got a bunch of my friends to come, half of which were like my friends from dance class. And I put on a class, and it was fun, and it was fabulous, and it totally felt really good, and people enjoyed themselves. And some people even tell me now that they remember this class, which I think is amazing, and that things that I said in this class really stuck with them. But there was a problem. So one of the teachers that I had been taking class from very regularly, who was like a major inspiration to me, she and I had a conversation, and she basically told me, and I quote, because this quote lives rent-free in my mind, that I had to be careful not to step on anyone's toes. And I figured she was just trying to look out for her fellow dancers. She didn't really know what I was doing. She clearly thought I was trying to teach a dance class, which I wasn't. So, even though I reassured her that I was doing something totally different and I was definitely not trying to step on anyone's toes, let me tell you, that comment stuck with me. It stuck with me deep. It etched itself, it tattooed itself into my brain and never really left. And so try as I might, I kept the classes going for a bit. tried renting another studio. I tried restructuring things a little bit. I tried marketing it differently to different people, and it just didn't work. It didn't stick, and I let it all fall away. And, you know, people urged me to keep going, but there was just this nagging echo of that line in my brain that just basically told me, you know, I should not really be teaching anything. So, and it was funny because at the time, people are always asking me to teach them how to dance. Oh my gosh, Shaka, you're such a good dancer. Oh my gosh, teach me what you learned in that class. Oh my God, that looks so cool. Can you teach me how to do that? And I was always like, no, I can't. Go to my classes, come take my classes with the teachers that I'm learning from, and there, learn it. But no one ever wanted to do that. Everyone looked at me and they wanted me to teach them. And for the longest time, I just said, no, I can't do that. I'm not a teacher. And for the next 3 years, I just stayed in my lane. I took dance classes, I kept getting better, but I was a student. I was only a student. And I kept modeling and doing fun stuff on the side. I ended up getting into performing again, back into go-go, even joined a bunch of different entertainment agencies, one of which had us learning samba and doing samba performances for weddings and corporate events, which was so much fun. And the owner and leader of that entertainment company, Jasmine, she was amazing, and she really could tell that I had this skill for heels dance, and she saw it when we were just fooling around and taking videos of each other and things like that. And so she really kind of saw this in me, and she was like, you should teach some of the girls some moves and things like that. For a very long time, since Shaka's walk class, I had kind of always this reoccurring thought of like, oh, I would love to teach. And it kind of never went away. And so when she saw this in me and she was like, you should teach some of the girls, we should put up together a little class. And she helped me film a video and she helped me get it out there. And I was really so grateful for her support. But more than anything, at that time, I truly needed someone's permission. At this point, you know, there was no me jumping out there on my own. I really need someone to tell me, Shaka, you can go be a teacher. And it's unfortunate that I had to wait for that, but that was where I was at. That's just truly what I needed. So for her to see this in me and for her to cultivate and help me through this was just incredible. I would just feel so grateful for her for this. And so I started teaching a couple classes, and then I started teaching more classes. You know, I started out with fundamentals, and I started off with very beginner choreography, you know, and I had no idea how to teach. You know, no one tells you that teaching is its own skill set, right? I had to learn totally new things. How to make up choreography, how to explain it to people, how to count for music and things like that. So I was really learning a whole bunch of new skills. But you know, I did have a knack for this. I was making up really good choreography. People were leaving my class feeling amazing. And I was really hearing great feedback from people. And I mean, people kept coming to my classes. People wanted more consistently. And that really showed me that I was on the right path. People were getting better. They were learning. They were excited. And more than that, they were feeling better about themselves. Their confidence was being raised. Their self-esteem was being raised. They could feel more sexy in their body. And these were the things that were so important to me. It wasn't about the dance move. It wasn't about looking perfect next to me at all. It was about how they felt about themselves in that classroom and leaving that classroom. And that was really what I was after. So when I started to hear these things, I was so happy and I was so grateful that this was starting to really work. And so things started to pick up. I was teaching workshops and private lessons. I was putting together videos with my students. It was really so exciting. And then
the pandemic happened.
And I was like, gosh, oh no, I'm on such a roll. I can't just take a break. I was like, you know what? Right now, more than ever, people need to dance. So I jumped online immediately. I taught, classes on Instagram. I taught classes on Zoom. I started off with them being free or donation based. And then I was making like huge courses that I ran online. In the first year of the lockdown, I taught like 60 classes online. I was teaching privates online. I was doing everything. I was just trying to stay in there. And by doing that, I actually got really good at teaching. It really helped me grow and strengthen that teacher muscle, which I really needed. And then post the first lockdown, we had mini lockdowns, we're back and forth in and out of studio, and I just tried my best to stick with it, keep teaching. I would jump back online and then go in person and then back and forth and back and forth. And I just did whatever I could to just keep dancing and keep teaching. And during that time of being online, I taught people all over the world, like the States, Europe. It was incredible. And I'm so grateful for everyone who's ever taken an online class with me. And I still have them up on my website that you can go do at home whenever you want. And so since becoming a dance teacher, I have been able to do so much that I never thought would be possible. I've taught online courses for companies, I've choreographed for music videos, I've put my choreography on stage in front of hundreds of people, I've collaborated with some amazing people that I look up to. Fast forward to right now, I got an amazing job to open up a new location of a very successful dance business in BC. So my path came with a lot of obstacles, but it took my passion, my dedication, and a lot of hard work to get to where I am today. But I truly feel as though this is my purpose and what I'm really meant to do with my life. And so I just want to thank every single person who has ever been my student, who has ever taken a class from me, who has ever just followed me on my journey. I just want to say thank you so much for believing in me and supporting me and helping me to get to this point. I could not have done it without any of you. And so, I want to leave you with two things that I know for absolute certain. Number one, you are a dancer. Right here, right now, in the body that you have and the way that you move it, you are a dancer. You don't need any special training or certifications or anything to call yourself a dancer right now. I believe we are born dancers. And the only thing that training and classes is going to do is going to make you better. But if you don't plan on doing that, you are still a dancer right now. If that's something that you love, you can call yourself a dancer. And number two, you can truly do anything you want with your life. If my story doesn't inspire you to show you that someone from, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a dancer. And I didn't know what that meant, and I didn't know how you even became a dancer. And throughout my whole life, I got told, no, you're not a dancer. No, you can't be a teacher. I started so late and I had no support from the people that I really wanted support from. But I knew that I was kind of meant for this path. And so I followed my intuition. I followed my curiosity. I followed my passion. And it led me to be where I am right now. And I can actually call myself a dancer, a dance teacher, choreographer, a performer, all the things that my childhood self would be screaming about. So I want you to know that anything is possible if you believe in yourself, okay? So that's my message to you. I just got full body goosebumps. Thank you for watching. Please comment about anything you want. I would love to hear from you. Tell me if you'd like to see another video, if you want me to talk about something more specific. I would love to do that. And yeah, hope you subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a great evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. And I'll see you next time.